we didn't do Mother's Day last week, and so they wanted to do it this week because their schedules kind of worked it together. And so
I
they
love it.
invited me over for dinner with their mother. So I was like, "Oh, thank
I
you."
love that. We actually celebrated Mother's Day last night.
Did you?
We did. Well, hello,
Congrats.
everybody. Thank you, Tanya. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unmuted. Happy Friday. We are here today with the amazing Tanya Brown. So excited you're joining us, Tanya.
I'm excited to be
Um,
here.
yeah, we've actually been spending a lot of time together,
We
which
have,
I'm going to
yes.
share. It's been awesome. Um, put in the chat where you're joining from. And if you want to connect with others, toss your LinkedIn or any other contact information in the chat. A lot of this is about getting folks connected with good people. I'm Paige, your host here. I'm the founder of Page Capacity Builders, which is a strategy and coaching firm that focuses on the nonprofit, philanthropic, and government sectors. And Unmuted is a space I created almost a year ago now, which is crazy to say. That's a platform for women. It's a platform for women business owners, women leaders, women just doing their thing, to really have a space to share about themselves. I've met a lot of amazing women over my 19 years of doing this work. And I just thought, wow, other people should know these folks too. So here we are, 19 episodes in, 2 Power Labs down, which is our virtual networking space just for women. And I'll have a little announcement at the end about the Power Lab if you're interested. And yeah, so jump in the chat, participate, ask Tanya questions. Hey, Jess, I see you in there. And let us know where you're joining from. We've had people join from all over the world, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, and just let us know you're here because, you know, Tanya and I can get together, but we want to do this for y'all today. So, without further ado, Tanya, I'm going to hand it over to you if you want to just, share about yourself and let everybody know who you are.
Sure. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm really appreciative for this opportunity. And I will say that you are an amazing person and an amazing host. I
Thank you.
met Paige through the mega networking in a chamber event. And
Yeah.
just followed up and we kind of clicked and connected. And then next thing you know, we're collaborating on a webinar and now I'm on the podcast. And it's just been wonderful meeting the people. And you're just a great connector of
Oh,
people.
thank you.
And you've connected me
Thank you.
with some other great people. So this is just a great opportunity. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I am Tanya Brown. I am owner of CPG Recruitment here in the DMV area, the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. And CPG stands for Careers, People, and Growth. We are a recruitment and consulting firm. We help businesses stay fully staffed. It's one of the most difficult things that businesses have to contend with is hiring good people and keeping them on staff. And so we hire across industry, but we kind of niche down in construction and manufacturing and healthcare, non-clinical healthcare. So that's our specialties, but we will go across industry. The business has been 6 years old, 2 years here in the Maryland area. Um, and it's been going well. I really can't complain a bit. I mean, starting a business it can be the highs, the lows, the stressfulness, the I want to quits and all of those, but then you have the great highs and the people that you meet and being able to solve the problems for the companies, the businesses, and also for the people who are looking for jobs because we're looking to put them into a career, not just another job. It could be another stepping stone to get them where they want to be. But being able to make those two connections are just really good, and I'm enjoying the ride.
I love it. I know it is really fulfilling, isn't it? I love that you mentioned that we did a little thing together yesterday. So Tanya and I did a workshop together yesterday. And from hearing everything she just said, all the amazing things that she does, one might wonder, how could they possibly just collaborate and
Right.
do something together? It made me think of that when you're talking, because you have so many expertise in things that are really different than me. But I think that was the point of synergy, right? Like there were some points of connectivity, or where we were really close. Um, but then that's where we were able to like bounce things off of each other in that space. It was a lot of fun.
It was amazing. And I think I even
Yeah.
mentioned it on the webinar that we did both of our sides separately. It's not like we came
Yeah.
together to create the entire webinar.
No.
We said, you do your part, and let's come together and see. And it just meshed together. And I'm like, this
We
is
did.
wild. Yes.
Yeah.
You were using some of the same keywords I was using. And I was like, oh, this does work well. So collaboration is important, especially
Yeah.
in business.
Especially in business. I know. And I'm so glad that we found each other at that
Yes.
mega networking event. I don't know if folks have ever done what was it, speed networking?
Speed networking, yes.
Woo, it was intense. I've never done something like that before.
It was my first time
But
also.
yeah, I met Tanya and I met a couple other folks.
Mhm.
Actually, Jess, who's joining us here, she was there with me. So
I
Jess,
guess
that is where I met Tanya, was at that mega networking.
at
Um,
BWI Airport, yes.
at BWI Airport. So you just never know where you're going to meet somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's been such a joy getting to know you more and learn about your journey. And I'm so excited to share today and have others hear about your leadership journey, Tanya, and where they can learn different tidbits along their journey. So shall we dive in?
Yes, let's go.
All right. So we've been asking everybody the same questions, which has been a lot of
Okay.
fun. There's been a lot of synergy and a lot of differences. So I'll be curious to hear your responses.
Okay.
So share a mindset shift that has changed the way you lead along your
Mm,
journey.
that's a great question. I would have to say it happened maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. So I started my journey into entrepreneurship through real estate investing. I have 21 years in the federal government. I was working there. I had been in management positions, and I got to a point where I just said, I've done everything that I wanted to do here. I was in the field of communications, and I said, I've done everything I wanted to do. What's the next step? And I was getting that itch. I was like, the one thing that scared me the most was walking by an elevator and seeing a flyer posted on the side of the elevator that said, let's celebrate such and such for 30 and 40 years of federal
Mm,
service. And I was like, oh my gosh, they sat on that desk for 30 years. And what did they do? And people say, oh, just ride out your retirement. And I just could not sit still. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is the next thing? I need to go and get out of here. And
hmm
you have the safe, good government job, and it's steady, it's secure, you're gonna be okay. Just stay there. But something in me was just not allowing me to stay there. And I said, what's next? You need to work out. So I got into real estate investing, moved over into mortgage note investing, where you kind of you're buying up mortgage notes and people are essentially paying you their mortgage. And I was doing,
Wow.
yeah, it's a really nice industry.
That's fascinating.
It is.
Okay. Note to self.
Yes. And I moved from there into some, private investing and so forth. But either way, it allowed me the opportunity to kind of walk away from that job. But then I said, well, what's the next step? What are you going to do? Because I can always still do the investing, which I still do. But I said, I
hmm
wanted to buy up businesses. I want to buy up businesses that associate with real estate. So, roofing, plumbing, electrical, all of those things. I was like, yes, we're going to buy up these mom and pops that are shutting down. The kids don't want the business. That's the way to go. Yeah. That was not the way to go at all. Because when I started digging into it, I was like, oh no, I'm going to be handcuffed to my employees. So I was like, okay, well, anyway, long story short, I'm going around Robin Hood's been giving my background here
No,
and
I
how
love that.
I
That's fascinating. Those are things I had no idea. First of all, I didn't know anything about those types of things, that they even
Mhm.
existed.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know that you did those things. That's incredible.
So yeah, but that's how I said, and I said, well, what's the hardest thing for you to do when you were in the government? And that was hiring. And so actually, I didn't
Mm.
really know that people paid other people to hire for them. But then I knew there were recruiting firms because, when I was coming out of college or something, I worked for a couple of temp agencies. So I knew they existed, but I was just like, okay, maybe I'll consider it. And a mutual friend connected me with someone who was already doing it. And so they
Mhm.
were like, okay, well, try it out. I did it for about a year. I shadowed him. And then I said,
Mm.
yeah, let's jump into it. So I'm actually a franchise in the Maryland area. So back to your question, which I know you asked, what was the mind? I told Paige that I go on to these squirrel events and then I come back and come full circle again.
It's perfect.
But to ask the mind shift, it happened when I was in real estate investing, and I partnered up with three other individuals, and we were great. We were doing great. We were having a good time, and then I sort of found that I started doing all of the work and everybody else was
Mm.
going on doing their own thing, right? This is the partnership dynamic that you always tend to run into, right? And so I was talking to a coach of mine at the time and I was kind of lamenting. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all the work. I'm doing the social media. I'm getting all of the clients. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I'm finding, and she stopped me and she said, okay, let me tell you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing me, 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 me. Are you a victim? And I was like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on my side. I'm telling you, I'm doing all the work and they're not doing anything. And she's like, no. She said, we have to look at everything as a lesson. What did you learn from this? She's like, you getting into this partnership may not have been a lifetime thing. It may have just
Mhm.
been for 1 to 2 years. What did you learn from it? And so I had to sit back and think for a minute. And I think I took a couple of days. And she was like, take your time. We'll talk about it when we meet next time. And I said,
Mhm.
you know what? What I learned from it was I can actually do this on my own. When I first went into the partnership, it was I need these people. I need their knowledge.
Mhm.
I need their ability. I need their connections. But now I'm like, I don't need all of that. I can do that on my own. And so now everything is, and I believe it was Grant Cardone who said, things don't happen to you, they happen because of you. And so everything is what are my actions? What am I learning from everything that's happening? What am I getting from it? Because life, as you stated, it's a journey, right? It's
Mhm.
no real destination. There are some high points, and then it's just on to the next destination, to the next high point. But what are you learning? Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, then you're dying, right? So everything should be taken as a lesson and something that I gained and I can and grow from. So I think that was the first mind shift, the major mind shift.
I love that. What was the feeling? Like, what was the immediate feeling when you had that aha moment?
I felt empowered because it was new to me. And when you surround yourself with people who have kind of been in the business for a while, they speak the lingo, they sound so professional and they're using certain words, and you're like, oh, I would never have thought of those words. And you get kind of intimidated, right? And then you sort of feel, I need that person. I need that to hold on to, right?
Mhm.
But after all of that, I was just like, I can do this. I,
Mhm.
I got the lingo and I understood what I was doing. And
Yeah.
it was just so empowering. And now I'm just like, I do need people, but I don't need them in order to advance, right?
Right.
It's
Yes.
more
Yes.
of I like to collaborate. I can learn from these individuals, but do I need to be attached? And I think that's the way I felt. I needed to be attached to someone and to help me advance.
It's probably also a difference between feeling like you need
Hmm.
someone and that you want.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, I'm sure that's a whole thing too. That's I love that. That's beautiful. Okay, our second question.
Okay.
What is a risk that you took that changed everything for you?
It would be leaving the job, leaving that W-2 job. And it
Yeah.
was scary. And believe it or not, I had told everyone on my job 2 years before I even left that I was leaving. And it
Hmm.
took me that long to actually get a grip because it was scary. When you have that security, you have that check coming in, you have the health
Yes.
benefits, you have everything, you know what your day to day is going to look like. And then you step out into that unknown space. It took time for my head to kind of wrap around it and say, okay, this is it. although I did have that urge that said, we got to go, we got to go. It
Yeah.
was, we got to go, but we have to do it safely. We have to
Mm-hmm.
go, but we have all of this. It's wild, but I'm so glad I did it. And even now in the highs and lows of this entrepreneurship, it's like I still don't want to go back to a W-2 job. Like even when I'm stressing, I told
Yeah.
another coach, I'm like, I quit like every Friday and I'm tired. And I'm like, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it to get up in the morning and go work for someone else and to trade my hours for dollars. And now I'm trading these hours, but I'm doing it for myself
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
for my family. Yeah.
Yeah. What gave you the courage to do that? I mean, you talked about, the fear
Hmm.
of seeing that flyer on the elevator, which I've seen those.
Yeah.
Um, and you knew what you wanted to go toward,
Hmm.
but what gave you the courage to do it?
That's a great question. I think not, I don't want to look back and say I didn't do it. And I didn't want to continue to sit in a position where you're constantly having this urge to do something else
Mm-hmm.
and you're not answering it. You're suppressing it. And every day it was just like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And then the grind, because I took the train, the MARC train from Baltimore to DC every single day. It was a 2 hour commute. I was getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, going to catch the train, and I was coming home 7, 8 o'clock at night. And my neighbors thought that I had actually moved because they wouldn't see me in the morning, they
Wow.
wouldn't see me in the evening. I was working long hours, and I'm just like, this is too much. It's too much. And something just kept saying, go, go, go. And to not answer that and then look back 10 years from now and say, I wish I had done that. I don't want to regret not doing something and looking back and saying, I wish I had wish I could have.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't work out, at least you stepped out and you tried it.
Absolutely. That's
But do it
incredible.
safely. I'm not telling anybody to leave their jobs right now and then just walk away and not have any
Calculated
income. But
risks.
yes.
Calculated risk. And you said something earlier too about like a government job, it's stable, it's steady. You can kind of, and as we've seen more recently, it's not
Yeah.
perhaps as stable as it used to be or as we would like to think. Um, something else that really resonated with me was you trusted yourself. You
Hmm.
trusted your intuition and that gut voice. We
Yep.
say feeling, but I'm going to say voice because you said a few times it was like go, go, you need to go.
Yeah.
And really leaning into that and trusting that, like believing that that voice was there for a reason
Hmm. Hmm.
and wanted to be heard, wanted to
Exactly.
be unmuted,
Yes.
shall I say.
Hey, that was good.
Sorry, folks. I had to do it. If you're just joining us, let us know where you're joining from. It's always really cool to see where folks are coming in from. And hey, Kim, I see you. I'm so happy you're here. Um, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. And look at you. I mean, do you have any regrets of
No,
listening to
no,
that
no
voice?
regrets at all. No, I
Right?
don't. Even in the difficult times, there's no regrets. I enjoy getting
Mm-hmm.
up and I set my routine. I still get up. I go out. I'm meeting people. I'm constantly dealing. And yes, you are, especially when your business is first starting out, you are everything in that
Mm-hmm.
business.
Oh
And it,
yeah.
it can become exhausting, but you're doing it for a reason and a purpose, and it's going to grow, and you see that vision of where you want to take it, and it's solely on you to get it done and nobody else to blame. You can start building your team, but I don't regret it at all, not at all. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can feel that.
Good, I'm
Um,
glad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I remember when we first met, your passion for your work and your business was evident.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
it's really great
course.
work, and it's great just working with different people and helping those people. It's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially right now. I mean, well,
Yeah,
anytime having a
exactly.
career is critical.
It is, and a lot of that, and you start to see the shift in everything also, because I mean,
Mhm.
right now you're seeing the IT space, everything is AI, and yes, cybersecurity is great, but you're also seeing a lot of layoffs in the IT space, and a lot of
Mhm.
people are. I'm seeing a lot of resumes flooding my way from people who are being laid off from the IT space, and then you have
Mhm.
the federal government. There are still people who got rift in the federal government who are still looking for jobs, and I mean, it's year two. We're going to year two now and they're still trying to find positions. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
it's difficult out there. And also, people who are going out, we're encouraging kids go out there and go to college, go out and get a trade. And there are things in trade you don't have to be crawling through spaces and crawl spaces just to be an electrician or up on ladders to do all of that. There are things that happen before ground is even broken in construction management, just estimating and pre-construction or something in that field where you don't have to have your hands dirty all the time, but get into those fields. They don't necessarily require the degrees because I know people are coming out now with six-figure debt out of
Debt.
college and then not able to get a job. When these
Yeah.
when these trades, they kind of have apprenticeships. You can work while you're learning. You can get paid while you're learning, and come out not have the debt and make a six-figure salary. So it's just
Yeah.
the different dynamics in the workplace right now, in the
What are
workforce.
your Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all really shifting. What are your thoughts on folks um who had a career, were in a career, maybe they were rift or,
Mhm.
lost employment to just some other reason? Would you suggest to them to exploring the trades as an alternative?
Definitely.
If because I know, I mean, it's the trades right now are very hot because
Mhm.
it can't be replaced by AI in
Exactly.
complete at this point, and in some of them at all,
Hmm.
at this point. So, and those are industries we really need,
Exactly.
to function as a society. So they're very very hot jobs. That's interesting. I didn't think about that,
Hmm.
for folks who,
Yes.
um,
And
yeah, maybe in
there's
that
a gap in that
position.
industry right now. That
Hmm.
entire we have an entire generation that we're told, and I'm in that generation,
Yeah,
go to college, go to college.
that was the thing you were supposed to do.
That was it. Yes. But if you were
Yeah,
good with your hands or if you just couldn't hack college, then you go over into the trades. But
exactly. But
yeah,
that's
but
all
now
changed.
it's
Societal
changed.
mindset shift.
Yes. But that's good.
Finally. Well, should we dive into our last question?
Yes.
I
Yes.
love this one. This is a really good one. I mean, I think they're all good, but I love this one. We're all taught things about leadership, right?
Mhm.
All along the way, constantly. Some of those things are great, and some of them we learn. No, that's not the way for me. Um, what is a lesson in leadership that you were taught that you chose to shed or unlearn or reframe?
Ooh. I think the one thing that I learned, and this was when I was actually in the federal government, is that in leadership, leadership is not about being bossy. It's not about, lording over people. You're not the strong man in charge and what you say goes. Um, the higher up you go, the more of service you become. And I think
Mm,
I found myself being asking more of how can I help you instead of do this and do that. So, and when I had to build out a team, and when I built out the team they became self-sufficient. They were just doing their own thing. And actually, when I first got there, I was a branch manager. When I first got there, I had a team. I think it was about four or five people, and they had been there for years, and they were doing great. And I was like, I don't think they need me. And that's what I told my director. I said, I don't think they need me. And he's like, they do need you, but they need you for a different reason. They don't need you to tell them what to do. They don't need you to help them with their work, but they need you to provide leadership. And I was like, okay.
mm,
So leadership became, how can I help you develop? What can I do to take this load off of you? How can I help make this environment a lot better? So it's not necessarily, bossing, bossing, bossing. It's about helping. and being of
Mhm.
service. So I was just like, okay, I'm constantly asking, what can I do? How can I help? How can you grow? What can we do? It's never about you need to do this. Now, sometimes it has to be when
Yeah.
you're in leadership, right? But I found myself being more nurturing instead of bossing. And I think that's the shift that I kind of, because when you're in, and I guess that came from a lot of the managers that I had that were not
Mhm.
great managers, and that was the way they sort of managed.
Yeah.
But when I had good managers, they were always supportive. They were always encouraging. What can I do to help you, Tanya? And so when I got into an environment where people didn't need help with the work, they just needed
Mhm.
leadership, that's when I said, okay, I see where this came from now. It came
Yeah.
from a place of wanting to see people grow, wanting to see people. And I even had one of my managers say, I don't expect you to stay here. I want to help you advance so that you can leave here and grow. And that's where I wanted to
Absolutely.
be. I wanted to be that person that says, this is just a stepping stone. Your next place is going up higher. Eventually, you will be in the position that I'm in. So that's
I
where I
love
made
that.
the change. Yeah.
I love that. And, I love that you acknowledge that you've had good leaders along the way
Hmm.
and that, um, yeah, that you learned from the bad,
Yeah.
not that you just focused on the bad, but that you actually
Hmm.
took it and did something with it.
Oh, yeah.
I really love that. That's really important. Because I think a lot of people just kind of sit with it.
Hmm.
Versus like, okay, how can I use this and learn from it? I also love that the person that hired you or whoever your, boss or manager or
Uh-huh.
leader was, that they were able to distinguish for you the difference, which says a
Yes.
lot about them.
Yeah.
And that that was impactful on you.
Hmm.
It's that little like stone in the pond,
Yeah.
like the ripple effect.
I
I
love
think
that. Yes.
that's a lot of what leadership is or should be, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that you're spreading the wealth,
That's it.
um, like of support, the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of like whatever it is.
Exactly. You have to build the next
That's
generation up.
Yeah, yeah. It's always a telling sign. I encourage people when they're doing interviewing
Hmm.
to interview them as well. It's like you're not just being interviewed, you should be interviewing them and
Exactly.
looking at their leadership style or asking questions about, how do you support your team? What does that really look like on the ground? Asking
Exactly.
that question and seeing what the response is
Exactly. Yes.
very, very telling.
100%. It is.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, because
And that's a
somebody
great
who
question.
does that and operates that way would have no issue answering that question. Maybe surprised by it because probably
Right.
a lot of people don't ask, but probably would have no issue answering it because they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
But somebody who's not doing that, you'd know right away and like, okay, so
Exactly.
they're not really, you know, when there's I have an open door. If the open door policy is the way that they're supporting their
Right.
team, that's a
Exactly.
red flag.
It is. It is.
um, and not that folks are intending, to do harm,
Hmm.
best intentions, right?
Right.
But that's where we have to learn that an open door policy is a passive
Hmm.
form of leading, and it actually is communicating just the opposite
I
of I do
agree.
not want to meet with you,
I agree.
and I'm not going to make dedicated space or time for you.
Right.
You come to me when you need me, um,
Exactly.
and that doesn't. I mean, some in some spaces and places, of course, that can work okay,
I actually
but
had a director that did that, and I went there the first time she had the office openings, and I said, I'm just going to go there, and I'm going to tell her everything is great, and I'm enjoying the time that I have here, right? And so she had the deputy director there and her, and I was like, what is all of this about? So I sat
wow,
down, and she was like, and I first started, I said, I was just coming to let you know that I've been having a great time. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm pleased with being here, and I'm thankful, blah blah blah. And that was all. I was just giving her kind of the temperature of how I was doing. It was like my
yeah,
second week there,
yeah,
and she was like,
oof,
"Oh, nobody comes to these office meetings like this. Everybody comes to complain." She's like, "That's why the deputy director is here," and I was like, "Really?" She was like,
Wow.
yes. But then and that's what she was saying. Everybody complains for open office hours. So what did you do with that information? What do you do when someone's just always coming to you complaining?
Yep.
But I don't think
Well,
she handled it well, though. I don't feel that because she had very high turnover in so
ding, ding, ding.
there was nothing done with that information with people coming to her complaining. But like you said, you come to me if you have a problem, and then she made it open, but then did nothing with it.
Yep. Yep. That's right. Jessica, Elena, Josette, we see you in the chat. Love all of the comments. Well, I want to respect everyone's time. We're at 12:30.
All right.
Tanya,
Thank
I know.
you.
Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing all of your wisdom.
I appreciate you.
Yes, and thank you, everyone. Oh, the Unmuted Power Lab, our virtual networking for women leaders. The next one will be July 17th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's just a little announcement for whoever's here today, but we'll put that out on social media and send it out in email so everybody's aware. But have a beautiful weekend. Have a great rest of your day. And thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you,
Take care,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, Paige.
Thank you, Tanya.